In the previous video, we learned about subjects. Now we're going to learn about objects, specifically the direct object, and how it functions in a sentence. So let's basically answer, what is it? The direct object receives the action. So if you remember, the subject does the verb, the direct object receives the verb. For instance, he hit the ball. Going back to subject, who hit the ball? He. So he is the subject. Now, to find the direct object, we have to ask ourselves, what did the boy hit? So what is receiving the action, or what is receiving the verb? And that answer is ball. And so this here is our direct object. Now you look at B. The boy ate the hot dog. Again, the boy is the subject. Ate is the verb, because the boy is the one doing the eating. And now we have the question, what? What did the boy eat? And the boy ate the hot dog. So this becomes the direct object. Let's try now to actually build a few sentences on our own using the direct object. Now you will notice here that I've also put at the top here transitive verbs. In general, in these grammar videos, I want to help you to be able to write fluently and understand how different parts or different words function in the sentence. What I don't want to do is throw these big words at you and tell you that this word is called such and such, and you have to know it from this other word called such and such. Oftentimes, the such and such has many syllables, and people start to forget the actual names of things. We're more focused on the function of things. But sometimes it's important to know these different terms, especially in later videos. That is, once you've gotten beyond the basics here, you're going to continue growing your grammar. And it's important to know some terms, otherwise you'll be a little bit confused. For instance, you must know direct object. And since we're on direct object, you must also have a grasp of the idea of a transitive verb and how it differs from an intransitive verb, which we will discuss in the next video. So think of it this way. When you are dealing with the direct object, the verb is doing something. That is something, again, is receiving the verb, and that is called a direct object. Those verbs which are able to take a direct object are called transitive verbs. So whenever you see a direct object in a verb, that verb is a transitive verb. And that's really all you need to know as far as transitive verbs go. So let's make up a sentence with take. I took the long way. That's a sentence I just made up. But notice every sentence here has a subject. We have the verb. And now, what did you take? I took the long way. Of course, this becomes, actually just the way becomes the direct object. Long would be an adjective. So we have now built a sentence. At home, you could have built any one of 100 sentences when you paused it. If you didn't pause it, try doing it with by, and then I will just come up with one of my sentences, and we'll make sure that your sentence works. Okay. She bought a new car. What did she buy? What thing? And that is car. That is the direct object. Again, an adjective is here what we call the object case, because remember the subject is over here. Object case is over here. But everything that's to the right of the verb in the object case isn't necessarily the direct object. Remember, the direct object has to receive the action. You can, of course, have adjectives over here, as we do with the word new and as we did with long. Finally, with find. I found a map. Again, you can make up hundreds of different sentences. Again, the point here is we're dealing with a transitive verb because there is a noun that is receiving, in this case, receiving the finding. What was found? A map. Therefore, a map is a direct object. Find is a transitive verb. So let's try to now identify with the sentences that are in front of us, where the direct object is. He took the test. Who took the test is the subject, so he took the subject. But we want to, of course, find the direct object. So what did he take? The test. And there's our direct object. Next we have they bought a television. They is the subject. They did the buying. What did they buy? A television. Hence, that is the direct object. And then we have C. I found my dog playing outside. What did you find? Well, I is the subject, found is the verb, and what did we find? We found dog. So dog is the direct object. Remember, just because there's other stuff here in what we call the object case, so anything again to the right of the verb here goes into the object case. Playing outside, we're not really going to even discuss exactly what's going on here grammatically, because that's for lessons far down the road. But in this sentence, did we find playing outside? Nope. I found what? Dog. And therefore, dog is the direct object. So even when the sentences get more complex, make sure you always ask that question for the direct object. What is receiving the verb or the action? And there you will find direct object.